This is the Wrestling Old Head. You have entered the portal of pro wrestling.
What the world is watching.
The Rock was the pie-eating, jabroni-beaten, son-of-a-gun trailblazer, and now, apparently, he's Soul Snatcher number 1. The final boss, The Rock.
Hey, I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul.
He was so schizophrenic in this promo. All due respect to the great one, but this was all over the place. He weaved in and out of shareholder Dwayne and dive bar Dwayne and the final boss, The Rock, and then he became Devil Dwayne towards the end. And we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to break it all down like a shotgun. I'm the Wrestling Old Head. You have entered the portal of pro wrestling, and there is a lot to extrapolate from the promo between The Rock and Cody Rhodes this past Friday on SmackDown. And it's really interesting because the internet is ablaze. Say what you will about that promo, whether you loved it, whether you hate it, and consensus is there's a lot of people that were just not even a fan of SmackDown this past Friday, but really, really are split between whether they liked it or just are wondering what the hell it was that they watched. Say what you will, no matter what side you fall on, it's in your brain. You're thinking about it. It actually changed the scope of how SmackDown perpetually went on. Like, the tag matches had less of an emphasis. You were most, I mean, I know I was more intrigued by what that actually meant and if there was actually a concerted effort to plan this out ahead of time, and do they know where they are going, or are they winging it? That seems to be a consensus that I'm getting from the internet. And hey, you have entered speculation station. All aboard. We are open 24/7, and we are here to speculate what that even meant, what is going on with that. Look, I'm in the same ballpark as you guys. I'm a fan, and I'm watching this, and so I want to go over some ideas that I have come up with, and also some ideas that have been popularized since, this promo dropped and went live. So much to talk about, so much to go over, and I'm going to try to wrap it in a nice bow for you guys. But one thing about Cody Rhodes that's interesting, when I was watching the promo, I felt for him. I felt for him in a way where, because we're emotionally invested, and those that have followed his arc since he left AEW, where he was a shareholder, where he was a CEO, where he was co-owner of this company, and then he's leaving and going to the WWE to realize a dream. The dream is to be a top star and to win a world championship that his father, Dusty Rhodes, did not win. That his brother, Dustin Rhodes, did not win. He's going to make the Rhodes family live in infamy, putting them in the pantheon of great family lineages. And he wants to be on the top of that. And you can feel for that story and everything that he went through to get to the point of finally finishing the story against Roman Reigns. We were all along for the ride. And how much of an emotional conclusion was it when he pinned Roman Reigns for the 3 count? It involved The Undertaker. It involved John Cena. It involved Seth Rollins. It involved the Bloodline. We were on the ride, and we were taken on the roller coaster, and what a ride it was. And then after that, we have watched an exhausted Cody Rhodes delve deeper into paranoia, wondering who his friends are, wondering if his friends are who they say they are. And it's an interesting arc. So watching him sit across from the ring with The Rock, he really whether or not he knew what The Rock was going to say, it seemed like The Rock was winging it. I don't know if he forgot his lines. I don't know if this was discussed beforehand, but I very much got the sense that Cody Rhodes had no idea what The Rock was talking about and where he was alluding to. If he did, well-acted performance. And I know I hate to say that in regards to professional wrestling, but please follow along with that. Cody Rhodes very much played that part to a T. He looked just as clueless as we were while we were watching The Rock talk about the point of why he has Cody Rhodes in the ring. And then to know that all this that Cody has been through, The Rock is saying, you're my champion and I want you to be my champion, the corporate champion. And it started to really set in when I heard you're my champion. He's done this before. After Cody Rhodes finished the story, the following night on WWE Raw, Cody Rhodes came out. The Rock came out. The Rock cut a promo about how happy he was for Cody. And in that promo, he said,
you are their champion. You are the world's champion. You are my champion. Don't you ever break my heart again.
You're their champion, and you're my champion. And if you remember, he gave Cody something. And we all speculated. We never found out what it was, but we all speculated that it was probably a Hall of Fame ring that was gifted to him after he won, after Cody won at WrestleMania. But we never found out exactly what it was. Rock said, you don't have to open that. You know what it is. And then he said, don't ever break my heart again. And now here we are, over a year removed from that promo. And here's The Rock again, showing up and saying, I want you to be my champion. And then the whole idea with the soul, I swear, Karrion Kross is punching air right now. This is Karrion Kross's role. Soul snatcher, the soul taker. By bringing out the worst in the people that have been hiding it. This is Karrion Kross's role. And I hope there is some kind of a bridging of that idea. Because Karrion Kross is the devil you know, not The Rock. The Rock is the boss. And I really felt like that was weird how he brought up the soul idea, you know? And I get, you know, we can espouse this idea of like, you know, The Rock being the corporate, you know, he runs. He's got his thumb on everything in the WWE now. He's essentially the new Mr. McMahon. And just like what Mr. McMahon did with the corporation, you know, he brought his family in. The Rock is doing the same with his family. So it makes sense. But this whole idea of the corporate champion. The corporate champion has been synonymous with the WWF/WWE for decades. The first time it was really introduced to storylines that I can remember was when Vince McMahon tried to make Steve Austin his corporate champion, complete with having him come out with the suit, the photo op in the ring, to which Austin basically said, hell no. And that was the real start of heel Vince McMahon, whereas the genesis really happened after Vince got a black eye from Bret Hart after Survivor Series 1996. But this was the point where they turned this into a storyline. You know, Vince did that promo after Survivor Series 96, and he thought the crowd would endear themselves to him. And the opposite happened. They hated him. And so, of course, there was then a creative change where they had to turn McMahon into the evil boss. That basically saved the WWF. And then you had corporate champions like Mick Foley, The Rock, Triple H. And then even more recently, you had Seth Rollins, and even Roman Reigns was pitched to be that corporate champion from Triple H. So what I believe I witnessed on SmackDown, besides a schizophrenic Rock, I'm just being serious, a crazed final boss Rock who weaved in and out of Dwayne and The Rock during this promo and called out Cody Rhodes, who had been exhausted, who was paranoid from his friends, who's wondering if he has friends. He's on the verge of snapping, who's wondering who he can trust. The Rock capitalizes on that and asks Cody to become the corporate champion. 28 years or so after The Rock had become the corporate champion at Deadly Games Survivor Series in 1998. He made a point to say that he was the biggest boss, the lead director on the board of directors. The Rock is basically, you have no chance in hell, Rock. So The Rock turned heel face more times in this promo than The Big Show did his entire career, for real. But this was the start of some intriguing storylines that converged within this promo. Or it could have been him winging it, or it could be complete trash. Who knows? But what I got out of it is we still never got to know why The Rock held up his 3 fingers. We still never understood why The Rock put the Ulafala over Roman Reigns on the debut of Raw on Netflix, even though he wanted a match with Reigns at WrestleMania 40. So maybe we will never know why The Rock wants Cody as his corporate champion, or if anyone else will step up as his corporate champion. But let's do what we do best and speculate. If Cody turns The Rock down straight up at Elimination Chamber, then The Rock may decide that his corporate champion is someone like a Drew McIntyre. Now, you remember, Drew McIntyre received a gift from The Rock upon re-signing with the WWE, and I believe it was the Conan the Barbarian sword. So there's some backstory there with The Rock and Drew. Drew would make a great corporate champion and has all the motive, if you look at it, all the motive to sell out and join up with The Rock. And his history with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes is well documented. So this would be a fascinating arc if they go this route. But let's say after Elimination Chamber, Cody doesn't outright say, I accept. But maybe he shares a shot in the middle of the ring with The Rock and they shake hands. It leaves room for further speculation without it being made official. Was that Cody accepting or at least entertaining the idea of joining The Rock with this toast? What could this mean? And that could lead to a more aggressive Cody, a Cody that wrestles between face and heel like The Rock's promo was between face and heel, and it crosses a certain line leading into WrestleMania. So there are definitely some ideas worth fleshing out here, and could do callbacks with the corporation from the WWF, and even recently with Triple H's regime trying to turn Roman Reigns corporate and then inevitably choosing Seth Rollins. I also think it would be wise to include Karrion Kross, as I stated before, in this Devil Dwayne story, because Kross is the devil that you know. So keep that in mind. The final boss, Rock, is going to be the devil, the top dog, the overlord, but Kross could be that demon that is moving the pieces along in a coordinated fashion, bringing out the worst in people or the real in people, if you ask Kross. That could be a star-making opportunity for Kross if he aligns in a way with The Rock, and maybe from afar, maybe doing certain deeds, and we only ever see glances between them, but it could be a very compelling addition to this story if they choose to go that route. But it's right there, and it makes a ton of sense. So, also, aside from Karrion Kross and whatever role Cody chooses to go down, depending on his choice that he makes at Elimination Chamber. Granted, he even makes that choice at Elimination Chamber. John Cena's role in all of this is also going to be interesting, and speculation is already running wild in regards to where Cena is going to be aligning. Cena promised in his last year as an active WWF / WWE professional wrestler that he was going to be in the WWE running and gunning, and we have only had 2 appearances from John Cena since the beginning of the year. Netflix debut and the Royal Rumble. So corporate Cena is essentially in full effect. Aligning with The Rock seems to be a no-brainer here, as they both left the WWE to tackle Hollywood, and as a callback to the promos that Cena cut on The Rock 11 years ago when Cena blasted The Rock for leaving the Hollywood, now sitting in a position very similar as The Rock, the story could be that he saw what The Rock was doing and understands the vision. And who better to try to coax Cody into crossing over than John Cena? John Cena could say, I convince Cody that of all the great things that await him if he does this. If it could be a great element to a potential WrestleMania match, because just to try to get him on board, it could be great television, you know? I mean, there's a match that could happen between Cena and Rhodes that isn't just old-timer versus champion or the passing of the torch. It could be, I'm going to beat you into accepting that who you actually are, which is the corporate champion. I mean, we all saw Cena become corporate Super Cena. And that caused the division in the crowd. They saw it. And he never alluded to it. He said, I'm real. This is what you're going to get, is me all the time being real. But we knew he was chosen to be the man, just like Hogan was. just like The Rock was. So to have The Rock and John Cena align under the auspices of the corporation to try to pin Cody down into being that which they ended up becoming, forcing Cody into a position before he is ready to accept. And live on television, we're witnessing this forcing of Cody to join the dark side. It couldn't be amazing television if they have this planned out. And I can see it. There's an option where I also feel that John Cena could be the angel to The Rock's devil on the shoulder of Cody Rhodes, who potentially faced John Cena at WrestleMania, and then conflicted, paranoid, and deep into being the top guy, Cody Rhodes will wrestle with whether or not he will sell out. Cena can tell him, like, don't do this. I did this. You don't have to be this way. Or I tried not to be this way, and it's been trying to corrupt me ever since. So Cena could be the Obi-Wan to Cody Rhodes' Skywalker, in essence. So there is another option with that. Basically, Cody Rhodes is Keanu Reeves in The Devil's Advocate, and The Rock is playing Al Pacino here. It's setting up for Cody to consider joining The Rock while John Cena plays that angel and tries to convince him otherwise. And then we can see where he sides at Mania. That will allow the crowd to be more invested and to have more tension going into that match. Which side will Cody inevitably be on? I think CM Punk can also play a major role in this, especially if he wins the Elimination Chamber. CM Punk battled with The Rock for a long time in 2013, 2014, and in a very similar fashion, The Rock kept inserting himself in CM Punk's business and changing the trajectory for CM Punk going into WrestleMania. So if anybody knows what Cody's going through, it's CM Punk. And they have something that they can revisit between Punk and The Rock that is truly spectacular television. And they can even, because Cody teetering on the line of corporate sellout and Punk understanding the fight that lays ahead of Cody Rhodes. I mean, there's an extension of why Rollins and Punk are so diametrically opposed here, which is Rollins chose to be that corporate guy and Punk pushed back every chance he got. So Punk trying to talk Cody into seeing how bad it would be to join The Rock pits CM Punk once again on the opposite side of The Rock, and then also John Cena. And there's history between Punk and John Cena. So you potentially have Cody Rhodes and CM Punk against The Rock and John Cena in a storyline for the soul of Cody Rhodes. That sounds like amazing money. That money-making program right there, if done well, it won't only just be intriguing and present several matches that could be blockbuster. This could be one of the biggest storylines the WWE has ever done. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, who left the machine, who left the corporate structure and went and did their own thing, have come back and are now being usurped, now being surrounded and forced to become what the corporate wants them to be. Oh my God, dude, that's such amazing television. If they do something like that, oh man, that's hook, line, and sinker right there. Remember, throughout all of this, we have to remember that The Rock told Cody, as I stated at the beginning of this video, he congratulated him on finishing story, and he said, don't ever break my heart. So we have to understand that that is still something that they're calling back towards. They're paying attention to what previous promos were doing. So even if they're winging it here, even if there is no plan on the other side, and as we're seeing on the news, the reporters are saying that, basically WrestleMania 41 is being held hostage by whatever decision The Rock makes, there is a concerted effort to do callbacks, because I witnessed it. Last night on SmackDown, that was a callback. You're my champion. Cody said, I'm the people's champion. Rock said, I get that. That's great. That's special. But you're my champion. So there is that callback from last year. Now, the three fingers, putting the Ulufala on Roman Reigns, like all of that, they're going to have to figure out a way to tie all that in. Elimination Chamber is going to be very exciting because there is a lot in the air. Do you have Drew McIntyre win after Cody turns down The Rock, and you then present Drew as the corporate champion going against Cody Rhodes? That is an option. Do you have John Cena win the Elimination Chamber and align himself with The Rock to try to ultimately corrupt Cody Rhodes? That is an option. John Cena being angry at the fact that the fans are upset that he's going out to Hollywood, upset at the fact that the crowd seemingly unanimously has chosen Cody Rhodes and loves Cody Rhodes. For John Cena to say, there's going to be a time they're going to turn on you. That is a great story right there. CM Punk winning the Elimination Chamber. So you've got these three. And I mean, look, and Seth Rollins winning as well is also an intriguing option. Cody beat him 3 times. Seth Rollins selling out again is not unheard of. It would not be outside of his character to align himself with The Rock as he aligned himself with Triple H and join that corporate regime that is ultimately going to try and either corrupt Cody or destroy Cody. So those are all exciting options. But out of the 4, out of Punk, McIntyre, out of Seth Rollins, out of Cena and Punk make the most sense. They're most exciting. And out of those 2, if the idea is to turn John Cena into a corporate sellout who went to Hollywood and is aligning with The Rock, coexisting with The Rock with the intention to turn Cody Rhodes for the sake of the business into the corporate champion, what an amazing story that could be. But I also like Punk being involved in this as well. The liaison, the one that is trying to thwart that attack, is also fascinating to me. And even Drew McIntyre in a suit, corporate champion, it just all works out. So there's a lot of different directions. There is a lot of different directions that they can go down. Say what you will about that promo last night. They have left open a lot of suspense and a lot of intrigue, and they can go several different routes. Where they decide to go, I'm leaving it in the hand of the professionals. I'm entrusting that they know where they're going and that there is a plan. But I just wanted to get all of that out to let you guys know what I thought about that promo. And now it's your turn. You guys let me know what you thought of The Rock's promo last night, where he said he was going to take that he wanted Cody Rhodes' soul. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Where do you feel like things are going to go going forward? You guys let me know in the comments. Comment in the comment section. That's where you comment, and then I can comment back to your comments, and we can get the ball moving in that direction. Thumbs up on the way out, you guys. And as always, stay tuned for more.